What's up, y'all? It's Dr. Paul, continuing our how-to series on Clean and Press for this beautiful example of Startling Comics number 48 that we got from our new friend Noah, who is at Newsstand Comics on IG. Noah sent me a couple of books, and I've already discussed the assessment with him. We've already done an assessment video. Hopefully you check that out and you're looking forward to the work. We talked about the importance of this book, this beautiful Schomburg cover, and we went through the assessment and the game plan for this book. So first thing up on the game plan is a dry cleaning. And as I mentioned before, even though this book is going to get wet cleaned, we need to dry clean it first, because the only thing solvents do is allow particles to move around. They're just as likely to go into the paper as come out of the paper. So the first thing you always do is remove as much as possible soiling from the surface of the paper so that we don't end up driving anything into the paper. So you'll see that I have clean and dry hands, and I'm not wearing gloves. For the moment, I'm gonna stay away from this top ½ inch because we talked about just the appearance of that paper. It looks very friable. So for the moment, I'm just gonna stay away from it entirely, and we'll approach it very gently. So as you know, the first thing that we do with a book like this, with the dry cleaning process, is we just start off with a cotton round. These are items that I end up buying in bulk from Amazon. Oh, I should put a link in the description if you want to support me a little bit. You can use that affiliate link. I end up buying them in bulk, and then my wife and daughters end up stealing them from me. Some of you may have the opposite problem. If you don't buy these, you steal them from your wife or your daughters. I'm playing it smart. I do it the other way around. I have the infinite supply and they come to me. And that way I never have a spouse upset that I used all of their makeup pads for my silly obsession. All right, so we're not picking a lot of surface soiling up, and I didn't expect to. There's some, right? But most of what we have going on here is our stains. Most of it is, frankly, leftover stains from mold. So now I'm gonna just test this paper up here very gently. The surface of this paper up here is rough. It's not the same as the rest of the paper, but it's not crumbling, so that's a good sign. That maybe it's a little bit sturdier than I gave it credit for. All right, that's about all I'm comfortable doing right now, and not much came up from that area. All right, we'll do the same on the back, and then what I think I'm gonna do is I'm going to set myself up to do the main dry cleaning with the erasers and a number of other tools that you have seen me before if you've been watching the channel. I'll probably do a real quick rundown of those. And then I'm gonna set the book up so that I can view it through my magnifying light. And I'm going to set myself up, frankly, with some good ergonomics so that I can comfortably work on this. We're going to have a lot of time just into the dry cleaning. Again, I'm avoiding this edge here for the moment. I'm turning my pad so that I'm not just wiping, soiling, you know, deeper into the book. There was some material on the book up here that's coming off, so I'm going to do a little bit more wiping here. These are really small accretions. That seem to be happy coming up with just a gentle wiping. So I'm going to continue that as long as I continue to see those spots disappearing. And I'm going to go ahead and get a fresh pad. So we've removed a fair amount with that one. And I told you, we always check frequently and often, right? This looks like we are starting to lift a little bit of this red ink, and that's normal. It's not something to be alarmed, but that's why you want to continuously check, right? It's similar to, like, say, paint on a classic car, where the top layer can actually be oxidized and dull, and by taking the very top layer off, we can actually make the color a bit more vibrant. So it's not the end of the world as long as we're just lifting, you know, 1/1000th or a couple thousandths worth of the surface, okay? When we get to the point where we're actually lifting and now that ink is lighter than the areas around it, obviously it's a problem. So now that I think I've done all I can there, I'm just going to very gently touch this edge. And again, it's very rough, and I don't think the paper has a lot of integrity up there, but it's not crumbling under our gentle wiping, so that's a good sign. All right. So we didn't lift a lot of soil from the book, but we got some, and especially right in here, there was some material on the surface that we were able to remove. So I'm gonna take a quick pause here just to get my light set up and my space set up, and we will continue the dry cleaning.